how to build a delusional self-belief. Let me tell you how. Look, the thing is with self-belief is that every other person is lacking it. So every other person is gonna tell you to not believe in yourself. And they're not gonna say these things out loud, outright to you. People are gonna come up, they're gonna insinuate, give out subtle hints and tell you like, oh, maybe you shouldn't really do that. Maybe you're not cut out for that. And maybe even some people are gonna gaslight you even more subtly. Like they're gonna say, are you sure you're gonna do that? Are you sure you can do this? And you're gonna doubt yourself. And even if you had like an ounce of courage, an ounce of self-belief, that sentence is gonna flip you over and screw with your head so much that you're gonna be thinking about that sentence all day, and the next day you're gonna give up on the things that you were gonna do. I've had this experience so many times to the point where now I had to literally form a self-awareness that whenever somebody's gaslighting, I literally notice it right away. Notice the pattern. Okay, wait. They're projecting their insecurities onto me. Wait. They don't have the self-belief, so they're projecting it onto me. Just so I don't succeed in this. Why? Because if I succeed in it, they're gonna feel bad about themselves because they're not succeeding in it. So I just, whenever they say me, like, oh, you sure you can do this? Boom, my mind is running on autopilot. Like, boom, this needs to be stopped. This is a limiting belief that they're projecting on us. Boom, stop it right there. And usually my mind stops it. And there are two ways to do it. Either I change the topic, because if I go on to sit and defend my worldviews, and they're gonna back up and double down on their side of the story and narrative, then they might win the argument because I'm not really good at debating, and they might have the leverage, and I might feel even more doubts afterwards. So what I do instead is I actually change the topic, bring out something funny, change the topic entirely, and guess what? Now the limiting belief that they were imposing on us is kind of distracted and blurred out. That in our mind, it has not even formed a solid connection. Before it was becoming a neural network in our mind, we just literally made a joke or changed subject, and it is now scattered and vanished. At sometimes there is gonna be exceptions where it's gonna be planted in your head so much that you actually have to, I would recommend not to defend it publicly, because you might lose, because I lose all the time when I defend my vision that I'm gonna be a millionaire from online internet stuff. If I defend it, if I go on to people and tell them my vision, they're gonna come up with other proofs like, oh, you know, my friend of a friend has done it and he failed, and also my grandpa's daughter has done it, and also my grandmother has done it and she failed and she fell off the stairs because she was doing the business online and watching the phone while stepping down the stairs. So they're gonna say all sorts of weird stuff. So I recommend you not to actually pay attention in defending your opinions. Instead, I would pay attention in recognizing the patterns. So these patterns come in so many different ways. One of the ways is people telling you, or people are kind of testing you if you can do it or not. Can you do it? Can you? And you might say yes in terms of like proving yourself. But that is also a worse thing to do, because it puts you unnecessary pressure on you that now you need to perform. And then if you fail, there's humiliation. So I would suggest that you actually make fun of yourself. This requires really, really control on your ego. And I've mastered crushing my ego for quite a lot of time now that I'm kind of used to it. I'm not really proud of it, but now it's one of the things that you have to do. So if my friend tells me like, oh, can you bench press so much? Now instead of saying like, yeah, of course I can, and if I can, then I humiliate myself and it lowers my self-esteem. So instead of that, what I do is I just make fun of myself, like, oh no, of course I can't. And then I go on to prove myself. Oh, but I let me just try it. Oh, of course I can't. I'm like a little girl. And then I go on to try it. And then if I fail, at least I tried. Like it's kind of like a hack. Now everybody's thinking like at least I tried. And it's not like, oh, he was so cocky at first. Let me pray for his downfall. It's not like that. Because you at this point, in order to build a good self-belief, and when you're starting from zero, at this point you don't want any unnecessary hate, unnecessary criticism. You don't want anything that pulls a blow on you, that lowers your self-esteem, because chances are self-belief and self-esteem go hand in hand. If your self-belief is low, chances are your self-esteem is the lowest. That is why your self-belief is low. So these two go hand in hand, and if your self-esteem is the lowest, your nervous system is so prone to being in the survival mode, and it's so prone to be if your nervous system is attacked, it's game over for you, because your self-esteem is already the lowest. I would say my self-esteem was in the negatives, like it was -10 while other people's were at 0. Mine was -10. If anybody told me anything which was remotely close to a criticism, I would just melt down, and I couldn't even process anything. I was stressed for the entire day, and I needed distraction. I need to watch a funny video to literally calm my nervous system down. That's why I recommend you to never ever pick a battle. Never pick a battle. Never do anything that invites criticism, because that is gonna put serious blow on your self-belief. So what you're gonna do instead is, we're gonna do the first thing, like I mentioned, like you just crush your ego. That's a really good way to actually get stuff done. Crush your ego and then go for the goal. And I would also suggest you doing things in private first, like go ghost for 3 months, 6 months, a year maybe. Go ghost, because like I said, the nervous system is so prone to being attacked in public because of the humiliation, the rejection, the abandonment that comes with the public association, or harshness or criticism. Even the feedback seems like a harsh criticism to us people in that point. So when you're in private, when you've isolated yourself, the only thing is left is your inner critic. Now your inner critic is gonna do all the hate, all the discouragement, all the bringing you down towards your knees, and you cannot do it. Now your inner critic is gonna tell you, do you really think you've got it? Like, you've isolated yourself, but many people fail in it. Are you gonna, what if you're one of the few failures? Your life's gonna be doomed then. What are you gonna do next then? If you fail, what's the backup plan? Like, it sounds so absurd when I say these things like this with the weird expressions, but this is what's happening at the back of your mind. Maybe not the expression part, but your mind is literally negotiating with you and being the worst parent and the worst critic and the worst friend who's actually an enemy. You know those friends who talk really good in front of you, who are like, oh yeah, they're the optimal friends when they're in front of you, but behind your back, they're your worst enemy. They want the worst for you. They're praying for your downfall. You know that type of people? This is your inner critic, your brain, whenever you're alone. So it is equally important that we tackle the public side, but also the private inner critic side as well. In order to quiet the inner critic, first thing is always that you need to realize that it is changeable, that your mind has this inner critic because of something that has happened in the past. Maybe you were a loser all your life, so your mind is just telling you, look, this is the pattern we have seen all your life, so this pattern might continue in the future as well. So what you're gonna do instead is feed the mind with unparalleled and unbargainingly serious evidence where you've reached your goal. For example, if your goal is to become jacked and you're really skinny, I want you to watch all the videos of skinny guys who have become jacked in like a year or something like that. Watch all the video of people who were in illness and they were sick and they were so they were skinnier than you, and then they became jacked. When you put inside of your head so many compelling evidence that your mind is like, whenever the inner critic is emerging, you can literally tell your inner critic, wait, before you say anything, don't you remember that kid who was skinnier than us and who was gotten so jacked, who has gained so many muscles, and also he didn't even have the time. I have the time. And he was poor. He was even poor. He did it on a budget. Thank God I have more budget than him. Thank God I have more time than him. Thank God I have more in my plate. Like I have more blessings than him. But still he reached for it. So give your mind enough compelling evidence, and I would suggest you watch like one video, at least one video that backs things up in your mind as an evidence every day. Just so you don't forget it. Just so it's always there every day. Just so whenever the inner critic comes up, you can tell it, like, haven't you watched 4 people in the past like 4 days who have literally achieved the same goal when they had less than us, or when they were at the same level even? And this has helped me tremendously. I've watched so much content, literally primed. I call this priming, because when you watch, it's kind of like visualization, but you're actually training your mind that it is possible, because the inner critic tells you that it's impossible, that it's not really possible because of our past patterns. But when we see this compelling evidence, usually we pick up the mindset as well, that wait, this guy has done it with so less things. I'm so fortunate enough that I can do it. If he has done it 2 years, I can do it in 1.5 years easy. I know it. And this is how the self-belief starts to develop. You watch all these type of content that is in tune to your goal, you start picking up on the mindset. Now don't watch educational content. Don't watch the mindsets, visuals, manifestation stuff, because then you're watching the teachings, then you're actually learning the teachings. But if you come to your own conclusion by watching something that is unrelated to teaching, boom, you've cracked the code. Once your mind picks up on patterns on its own, this is where the magic factory is shooting up gears, and it's working. It's now in the gears, in the movement. This is the best thing. I used to obsess over psychology, human psychology. You know, I've watched so many content on psychology, human nature, on how the mind works, NLP, and all kind of stuff on the teaching side. But then I started watching like interviews, the late night interviews. I started watching Sherlock, like movies that had detectives. And then I used to pause it and then rewind it for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then do it repeatedly. Like rewind it, then watch it again, then rewind it, then watch it again. Then my brain was just extracting patterns from these movies, from these interviews, from these YouTube videos which were unrelated to teaching, which gave me enough mental compelling evidence that wait, oh, he's doing this because of this. And you're coming up with your own conclusion. You do it long enough, your mind is literally gonna feed you with self-belief. And this is where the delusion starts to emerge, and you're gonna become like this delusional person. Wait, he has done it. He has earned money online. So can I. Literally, I kid you not. Last year, the same time, May 25th, last year, I had nothing. I went on a binge watching streak to learn about online coaching, and in 6 months I had launched my first offer, and now from last year I had earned $4,000 online, started from scratch, knowing nothing, having no knowledge, no certification at all. But I had watched in so many coaches and so many people who had made it, and who came from debts. They had debts to pay. They didn't have money to for rent, and they had made it. So why can't I? Once your brain starts, this is not an advertising or like pitching. I hate to do that. But when your brain gets in this mode, like, oh shit, he has done it. Oh, I can too. Like, why can't I? Like, I can also do it, and it's pumped. You know, the delusional self-belief is now starting shifting gears. It's now in movement. Boom. But this is not the clear picture. Now comes the action. Now you actually start doing something. And oh, this is not a gang sign, by the way, but it could be. So you start doing the actions that are appropriate, and then once you're doing it, you gain enough proof, and proof gives a sense of self-confidence, and which also raises the self-belief. But for many people, taking action, many people are lazy, so they can do the first step, which is consuming stuff, which is gonna give them enough evidence. And most of the time, once you have enough evidence, you start to act almost effortlessly, like on autopilot. You start acting like oh shit, do you even know? Even this video, oh shit, this is crazy. I didn't even notice this. Even this video, I had dreaded making YouTube videos for now a month, I guess. It's 25th of May. I think I've been delaying making videos for a month, about a month now, or at least 20 days. But the thought of making a video felt like a chore. It felt really dreadful to me. But I just seen a bunch of people making really low effort content, and they were on my homepage, and their titles sucked, their videos sucked. I mean, not sucked, but it was super low effort. And I was like, wait, I have better ideas than them. But still, they are getting so much views, so many people engaging with their content. So why can't I? Wait. So, and I was pumped today. And I was like, wait, I need to watch this every day. It's like unlimited motivation. And it never goes away. It almost feels like it never goes away. Because I just watch these content and I'm like, wait, this guy is such an idiot. And he has such a bad idea. And he's saying it in such a bad way, and he has no personality, and he has no jokes, and he doesn't even know how to retain an audience, and he doesn't even know how to connect with an audience. He's not even vulnerable, but he's still, people are looking at his content and engaging with him, and he's getting views. Oh my god, why can't I? Like, why can't I? And boom, today I made like 3 videos without even thinking. Without even forcing myself. I haven't even drank water. I'm thirsty as heck. Oh my god, this shit works. Like, I know I sound super crazy, but oh, wow. I feel like it's the first time I'm practicing that I'm preaching. So now you know the secret sauce. Don't share it with anybody. You gotta gatekeep it, at least. No, I'm kidding. So thanks for watching. Binge watch my videos, and you know the drill. Stay